So I've been dealing with a lot of dysphoria lately. It has to do with all the stuff I was talking about before, about having trouble passing and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good at dealing with dysphoria, though, in the grand scheme. I mean, it's not easy for anyone, but I know I have a doctor's appointment next week, so hopefully I'll get some answers and think of something to do from here to make me feel better, so it's not that bad. But I realized that I hadn't actually made a video about dysphoria yet and how it is for me and what I do about it. Yeah, I've heard like everybody try to describe what dysphoria is like, and it's hard to describe. It's hard to really put words to how it feels, and I think the reason that people have so much trouble for it is that it feels a lot like there's a lot of dissociation involved with it, and a lot of the times it's on like a really low level sort of throughout your day, and other times it sort of peaks and spikes and then goes back down for a while. It's different for everyone. So it's, for me, it's largely just a real disconnect. You know, when you feel like disconnected to your own body, it's hard to feel engaged in the world around you. And I think that's why when I started transitioning, I made so many other life changes, because I realized like how disconnected I had been from everything, you know. I describe it a lot as like a white noise in your life. I didn't realize it was there for the longest time until one day it started getting turned down, and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe it was that loud in there, and I never noticed. And a lot of the times it can feel like a lot of anxiety, you know, and just more of like a hyper awareness of everything that I'm doing. Like when it's particularly bad, it feels like hyper awareness of like everybody I see on the train. You know, they're looking at me, and I'm wondering like what they're thinking. I'm worried about, you know, every movement I make, every gesture, everything I say, wondering how it's coming off, and it's just like this constant like panic. And so how do I deal with it? Like I said, I like to think I'm pretty good at it. The biggest thing that I had to learn how to do was how to like contain it almost. There's sort of a trick to regulating it, which I think applies for any kind of strong emotions in your life. It's just a good life skill to have, honestly. You know, letting yourself feel it, because we all know like bottling that shit up doesn't do you any favors. So you've got to be able to like feel it and let it out smoothly and calmly instead of in like big bursts, but also know when to just like put a lid on it, you know, because you still have to be able to go to work every day. And so it's a real skill to be able to just say like, you know, I'm recognizing that these feelings are here. I'm going to put a lid on it for now, and maybe we'll look at it later. Another thing that really helps me is spending time around people who are really close to me. I've got a really awesome core group of friends who have been huge help for me throughout all of this, and it's not even like, I don't even talk about it with them very much, but there is something really therapeutic in just being with people who know me well and who are really good at like seeing the shades of gray in me. You know, they don't see me as a particularly gendered person either way. It's just a time to like relax and get my mind off of things and talk about like stupid movies or whatever, and have it not be all about gender for a while, but still have like this weird gray zone of gender recognized and have space for it, but it doesn't have to be the fucking center of attention all the time, and that is awesome for me. The last thing I want to say that I do about dysphoria, sorry, is I think since I've started transitioning, I've gotten like a million more body mods, which is not at all unconnected. I got a lot of piercings now, and I've got a couple more tattoos since I started transitioning. And for me, it's a really good way to like lay claim to my body. It's so fixable. I think like I want a piercing here, and I can just go the next day and get it. And it's like one thing that feels kind of like off and wrong about my body, and then I can just fix it, and then it's there, and that is awesome. Yeah, so I think that's it. I've actually got to head out to work, but I'll update again soon.